Okay, so this is PAILs and RAILs for ankle plantar flexion, and in layman's terms, that basically just means your ability to plant your foot as well as your toes. Reason why this is a good movement to do is if you have any kind of tension in the front of the shin, such as shin splints, or if you have any kind of anterior pinching happening in the ankle joint itself, this is a good exercise or a good mobility drill to do to help to alleviate some of those conditions. Okay, so the setup here is you're gonna sit in this half kneeling position and you're gonna lay on the dorsal side or the top of your foot. What you should feel is a nice stretch along the shin and the top of the foot. Now, if this position is too uncomfortable for you, you can use a mat or a rolled up towel to give yourself more support. The first step is you're gonna hang out here for 90 seconds to 2 minutes. I know it seems like a long time, but it's important that you stay here and let your tissues adapt to this position before we get into the big work. During this time, it's a good idea for you to breathe through the stretch and allow yourself to sink deeper into the stretch with each exhale. Step 2, we're gonna move into our PAILs contraction. What you're going to do is you're going to press the top of your foot into the ground as if you're trying to bring your foot and your toes towards your shin. So essentially, you're doing this action into the ground. You won't actually be able to do that because the floor is going to be blocking you, but that's the idea. We're trying to create an isometric contraction, but you're going to contract very gradually. So you're going to do this in 20% intervals. So you're going to ramp up to 20% of your effort, then you're going to go 40%, then 60, and then 80, then 100% of your safest maximum effort, making sure that you're not feeling any pain during this contraction, but you're gonna push into the ground as hard as you can, and you're gonna hold that contraction for 10 seconds. After 10 seconds, don't just let the tension go. Slowly ramp down the intensity, bringing the dial back down to 0. Step 3, we're now going into our rails contraction. Without changing your position, you're going to try and lift the top of your foot as well as your toes off of the floor. You're essentially doing this action. Think of it like pulling your heel towards your bum. And you're gonna do that as hard as you can for 10 to 15 seconds. And then finally, start to ramp down that tension and see if you can get a little bit deeper into that stretch. You can repeat that process for 2 to 3 more rounds. Another thing to keep in mind is if during the contraction you're feeling any kind of pain, don't feel like you have to ramp up the intensity all the way to 100%. You start with 20 to 40%, and then over time you can gradually increase the intensity. And that's how you can improve your plantar flexion. Do this twice a week for a total of 8 weeks, and you should see some significant improvement.